Well, San Francisco law enforcement has quite a plate in front of them, from the lockdown at 2 county jails to today's commemoration of the harrowing 1906 earthquake.
And joining us in studio this morning to talk about all of this and more is San Francisco Sheriff Paul Miyamoto. Welcome. It's so great to have you in studio.
Good morning. Always happy to be here.
So we know it's been a busy morning for you, and we did see a little glimpse of you in our coverage of the ceremonies this morning. But let's talk about the lockdowns behind bars. And this is something that we're starting to see in the Bay Area in general. Is there a larger problem here that we're not seeing?
I think part of it is that as we moved on from the pandemic and gotten into normalcy in the jails just as much as we have in the community, there's a reflection of that in the behaviors that we see now. We've had an increase in violence against our staff, completely focused on our people. And the lockdowns are a way in that system in which we kind of calm things down, bring things back together, have the opportunity to investigate to make sure they're not tied to larger issues in terms of our housing units, and move on from there to keep people safe.
Are low staffing levels an issue when it comes to this?
Low staffing levels are definitely a challenge for us, but most of these attacks, and usually when deputies are assaulted, it's a one-on-one thing. They're targeting deputies, they're targeting individuals one-on-one. Some of these assaults have occurred with other deputies present as well and other staff. Our response times in the jails in terms of getting more help to people when these things happen are still there. It's not as many people, but there is always help on the way.
It's low staffing and then long shifts. We did report that even if you have those there, they may not be at their best in those environments because they're working those overtime hours. Absolutely.
That's a very big challenge for us right now. We're down over, close to 200 deputies just in our entire system. We're down to about 75% staffing in each division. So it's very challenging for us to get people up to a level in which they feel comfortable, because we are all human and we get tired working those long hours.
We know that,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's pivot to the event this morning honoring those who died during that 1906 earthquake here. And we were just at Lotta's Fountain, as were you, on Market Street. And this was the meeting point for so many San Francisco residents during that time. How significant is this for first responders at that time?
I think it's very important to recognize that during the 1906 earthquake, it wasn't just the first responders who were dealing with it, but the entire community. And so we need everyone's help when things like that happen, remembering what happened so that we are prepared in the future for what will eventually be another earthquake here in San Francisco is something that's very important to do. This is a great commemoration because it brings back the history. It brings back the resilience that we experienced back then, the resilience that we're experiencing right now. It can be compared to that, and having everyone come together at a time before I even show up here sometimes can be challenging, but it shows how cohesive we are because of that turnout, because of that remembrance.
Yeah, and it is a good reminder for all of us to be prepared for that next earthquake. This weekend also marked the start of the Cherry Blossom Festival in San Francisco's Japantown. Thousands came out to celebrate Japanese culture, and you guys were there. What was the experience like?
I've experienced that even before I was the sheriff, being a member of the community. So I'm a fourth generation Japanese American, and it's always a joy to bring the community together again to celebrate something like the Cherry Blossom Festival, which is very festive, very colorful, and it's a great opportunity for us to reach out to the community to go back to what we were talking about. We need more people, and we're always there asking people to come join our family as well.
And building relationships, right? Okay, I always ask you this at the end of every segment. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had 1 cup of coffee over at the Lotta's Fountain, and I'm looking forward to having breakfast at some point.
Your answer's always the same. We've got to see you fed before you
I thought you were going to ask him about the food at the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Oh, actually, we're looking forward to that too. Yes,
oh my gosh,
that's a lot of good food.
Amazing.
Good food, good times, and great community spirit.
Somebody feed the sheriff before he gets to our studios. Sheriff Miyamoto, we appreciate you as always.
Thank you.
We really do.